What up, y'all? It's the homie Dame. And as you can see, we're in a bit more of a intimate environment today. And the reason for that is because I'm going to be reading you some stories today. Not just any stories, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stories. And not just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stories. I paid writers on Fiverr to write steamy, spicy, erotic fan fiction. So the idea is I found writers who don't know what JoJo's is, and I'm gonna randomly pick 2 JoJo's characters for them to write about and see what they come up with. Okay, so I just threw a bunch of random JoJo characters that I like, and we're gonna spin this wheel. First pairing. Okay, Joseph and Dio. Not the most problematic pairing, but definitely a weird one. I think it's good we're starting with something that's not too wild. Okay, I got Fiverr user Shahir Hashmi2. Let's see what you got for me. Joseph and Dio were both home alone. Their girlfriends had gone shopping earlier in the day, leaving only the 2 of them behind. They decided to spend some time in the pool. Dio, can you help me? It was a gorgeous bright day. Dio stared at Joseph, who had a mournful, angelic expression on his face. He'd always wanted to help him with anything he needed help with. Dio grinned, knowing exactly what Joseph was asking. Joseph caught Dio's hand in his. Dio's face lit up with delight at this. The 2 friends were spending some quality time together. It's unlike most days they've spent together since their girlfriends are not home. Joseph and Dio were swimming in the pool. No one else was home, and he felt it was time to let it all out. Dio took another glance around, and his fears that someone might see them being intimate with each other vanished. He exhaled in relief, smoothing his palm over Joseph's very visible hard-on in his fiery orange and scarlet swim trunks. That does seem like something that Joseph would wear. Dio continued to play with it, grasping it tightly, forcing Joseph to let out an incredible loud groan. Holy shit! Okay. I'm sorry, Joseph. I just can't help it anymore. I love you so much. Dio knew Joseph's expression told it all. His eyes were closed as he moaned on. Dio grinned broadly as he saw Joseph clinging to the pool's edges. His behind was up against the wall as well. Dio carefully undid Joseph's swimsuit, allowing the cold water to contact Joseph's soon-to-be bare body. Joseph's outfit was entirely removed by Dio. Dio only grinned before moving in for a passionate kiss. Both Dio and Joseph had their arms around each other. Dio pulled up Joseph and sat him by the large swimming pool, stroking his hands over Joseph's legs. Dio moved his hands over Joseph's exquisite, youthful set of abs. Okay, wow, so this is not part 3, Joseph. This must be young in his prime, part 2, Joseph. Dio moved his hands over Joseph's exquisite, youthful set of abs, all the way up to his adorable small nipples. He rose up and kissed Joseph again before kissing down his collarbone to Joseph's nipples, alternating back and forth while sucking them. Joseph then took it upon himself to raise his brother's face. Huh? Joseph didn't want it to come to an end. It was the best, most human sensation he'd ever had, and it was with the one he truly loved, no less. Damn. R.I.P. Susie Q, I guess. It made him feel filthy in a seductive manner, like he was on show for Dio. You have no idea how badly I've wanted to do this with you, Dio. I figured it's part 2 Joseph, so I might as well put on the British accent. Joseph felt tears welling up in his eyes. He had the feeling he was about to weep, but in a pleasant manner. That had never been uttered to him before. He'd always assumed that the way he felt about his real lover was wrong, and that he'd be mocked for it. But Dio was there in front of him, urging him not to be sad. Dio kissed him once again, this time pushing his tongue to Joseph's lips and begging for permission to enter his mouth. Because we all know Dio is known for asking for consent. Joseph gladly complied, and Dio brought his mouth up to him and choked him as they made out. Dio savored his fresh and sweet flavor. He couldn't believe how great he tasted, gulping down his spit. Dio couldn't get enough of him because he tasted like strawberries. Interesting artistic choice. Dio then decided it was time to quit torturing him and move down, gulping down the whole Oh my god, Dio! Damn, that feels so good! Dio laughed, amazed that he was doing so well. He was merely performing what he learned from his girlfriend. He kept off, making him feel good. Joseph's adorable and juicy was by Dio. He winked at Joseph once more as they made a blazing fire inside Dio, which had been okay. They're literally just like fucking for the next few chapters. It's actually pretty explicit. Holy fuck! You're the lover I've ever had, Dio. Can we stop hiding and live life how we want to? Joseph cracked a grin. I thought you'd never ask. Dio made a winking gesture and kissed him again. Wow, okay. Jesus. That was an enthralling tale of forbidden love between two characters, Dio and Joseph Joestar, who apparently are just can't accept their feelings for each other until now, where they let it all out in a passionate moment by the pool. that was really good, Shahir. Not too far off as far as like canon details. The only really weird thing was that apparently Joseph and Dio are brothers in this, which, you know, I guess technically they're family members, but I don't know. It's a very interesting artistic take. Okay, I'm gonna spin for the next pairing. I'm sure y'all are on the edge of your seats with anticipation. Okay, so we got Avdol and Bruno Bucciarati. You know what? I'm just happy that this apparently takes place in some universe where both of them are alive and well and are able to engage in some, I guess, erotic encounters. Okay, for this one, I commissioned someone named Crimson Advent on Fiverr to write this. So let's see what they come up with. Avdol sits on the bed with a loud sigh, dismissing Magician Red from his side as he brings his sharp gaze up to the white-clothed man. Oh, okay, so this person at least knows what the stands are, so that's already... Damn, maybe this person watched the show. Bruno maintains his stoic expression, having dismissed his own stand long ago. It was an odd place for them to always meet up in such a house, a very out-of-place shack in a far-off island. It was by chance that Bruno had stumbled in his refuge, bloodied and broken. Okay, so this person for sure has watched JoJo, because this is like, you have to have watched the show. Had it not been their shared understanding of having a stand, the two would not have anything to bond to. You're here again. Muhammad's gruff voice fills the air. It was night already in this side of the world. He was just about to sleep, had it not been Sticky Fingers' odd timing to guide Bruno her. I thought he said he dismissed his stand. I guess not. I couldn't sleep. I wish I could do an Italian accent for Bruno, but... Bruno murmurs, plopping his tall self beside the Egyptian. He looked everywhere except Avdol, a blush tinting his pale cheeks. Avdol reached out a hand, wrapping it gingerly around Bruno's thin wrist, pulling the Italian man to his side. He grasps Bruno's chin with his other hand, capturing stormy blue eyes. Perhaps the usual can help. A smirk sits on the Egyptian's lips as Bruno pants loudly, bringing a hand up to comb through his locks. Yes, the usual, he murmurs, hands already moving to undo the buttons keeping his suit in place, bathing his svelte? I failed English in high school. Svelte figure with the waxing moon's light. Avdol swallows loudly, his dark eyes tracing the contour of his lover's naked body. He swallows thickly at the proud erection standing under the moonlight, twitching under his gaze. He brings a hand down his body, grasping his beneath his clothes. He grasps the Egyptian's thick, weeping cock. What is a weeping cock? Oh, it's pre-cum. He chokes as Bruno slyly bends down, dragging the tip of his tongue at his weeping tip. So clearly both these authors know a little bit about foreplay, because neither of them really get into, the nitty-gritty right away, which Let this be a learning experience for all you ladies and gentlemen out there. Foreplay is an essential part to a healthy sexual relationship. That and having a weeping cock, apparently. Avdol chuckles, dragging Bruno up along his body to press his dark lips against pale ones. His large, callous hands wrap around the Italian's calloused hand. Listen, all my LGBTQ fellas out there, is that something you want out of a hand job? I don't know. For me, the word calluses is like the least sexy word I can possibly imagine. He chuckles, shaking his head before dragging his hands to Bruno's ass. Ooh, we're getting into that good. He pulls the ass cheeks apart, positioning the smaller man above his. He rims the muscle with his, causing a low groan from Bruno. Muhammad. Okay, there's just more of them like ass fucking each other. Bruno has like a fucking orgasm and there's no ending. It just ends when they both somehow like simultaneously nut in each other's assholes. So that's the end of that thrilling tale. All right, thanks for the story, Crimson Advent. That was definitely a really spicy one. I'm probably gonna have to take out a lot of like the nitty-gritty details because god damn. So clearly this person has seen JoJo's before, so you know they can bring a little bit more of those canon details in there. But also spend some time talking about the important things, you know, like weeping cock. Okay, jotaro cujoh and okay, so I asked someone on Fiverr named ProAppDevel to write this, and they advertise being a fanfiction writer, but it looks like their main thing is like web design. So if you guys ever need somebody to make your Shopify webpage, I guess hit them up. Oh my god, there's a title and everything. Jotaro Cujoh and Lisa Adventure. Expect the unexpected. Lisa POV. Oh my god, what is this, Game of Thrones? Warnings, smut, oral sex, reader giving, what? Blowjobs, semi-public sex, accidental voyeurism. Oh my god. Who's gonna walk in on that? Oh my god, I hope it's Jolyne walking in on them. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw him. Stood in front of me, smiling, alive. The last time I'd seen him was months ago, lying on a table, a hole in his chest where his heart should have been, quite clearly dead. The image still haunted me in my sleep, keeping me awake for nights on end. I'd done what both Fushiro and Kugisaki had done. What? Focus on the upcoming Goodwill event and tried to push my griefs that I couldn't afford time to. Oh my god, is this a JoJo and Jujutsu Kaisen erotic crossover fanfiction? Oh my god, this might be the best one. Yo, hold on. Let me get back into it. It was a total coincidence that our paths crossed. I'd been to see my parents after hearing about 3 schoolboys who had mysteriously died at the local movie theater. Concerned about any lurking high-level spirits around town. Oh my god, this is actually a crossover. Okay. I'd made an excuse to Maki about a family emergency and left training early, catching the first train I could. After a brief visit to my parents' house, I decided to scout around the area to see if there was anything unusual curse-wise. Nothing. But what was unusual was how I bumped into Jotaro Cujoh on my travels. Oh, Cujoh? Hi, what are you doing here? I didn't expect to see anyone up this way, I said, confused and slightly anxious as to whether he had been sent to bring me back to Jujutsu High. YN. Is this a self-insert fat? Oh my god, nah, this is the best one. This is the best one. Wait, so I guess... But this is supposed to be Lisa's point of view, right? He's talking to, unless, have we not encountered, is this not Lisa talking right now? I'm just gonna put her name in there. Lisa. Why are you here? Aren't you supposed to be training for the Goodwill event? He stammers, his eyes wide in shock and panic. Yeah, I had family stuff to sort out, so I got some time out of training. What's Cujoh got you doing now that brings you all the way out here? I say with a laugh. Hey Cujoh, I found out where he Oh, hey, why are you here? Jotaro Cujoh questions as he smiles warmly towards me. What? Wait, are there two? Who is in this scene? There's Jotaro, your name, and Lisa, or is it just Jotaro and Lisa, and you can just self-insert as Lisa? Jotaro Cujoh, I whispered. You're alive. Ha, yeah. Gojo wanted to keep it a secret whilst I worked on my jujitsu, so had me working on a case with Nanamiin, he said rather sheepishly. Okay, so clearly Jotaro was supposed to be Itadori in this, and I guess Lisa and or the self-insert is Nobara Kugisaki? I could only stare back at him. Words had left me, and my thoughts were scrambled. Jotaro Cujoh, the selfless boy I'd thought I'd lost back in the youth prison, was alive and well, stood right in front of me. I didn't know what to do or say. Kyo, can you give us a moment? Jotaro Cujoh asks, to which Kiyotaka hurriedly responds with something about sorting this mess out as he scuttles away around the corner, rapidly pressing his phone. Once Kiyotaka was out of view, Jotaro Cujoh turns his attention back to me with an unrecognizable look in his eyes. He glances towards the alleyway next to us, moving towards it before looking back at me. Come here. How are you alive? I saw your body. You had a hole in your chest. You had no heart. How is this even possible? My words were cut off as Cujoh pressed his lips to mine. It took a moment for me to register what was happening, but it wasn't long before I returned the kiss, my hands gripping his shoulders as they find my waist and pull me closer. Our lips left each other for a moment as we both caught our breath and looked up to see Cujoh's eyes wide and pupils blown as he gazed at me. Glazed is probably what's gonna happen later. His lips were on mine once again. The kiss became much more passionate as I drifted my fingers into his pinkish locks and pulled him close. So this person has no idea what JoJo is and was just like, what anime do I know? Everybody's a Jujutsu Kaisen character. It wasn't long before I felt his hips begin to grind into mine, so I released my grip on his hair and slid my hands down towards his black trousers, moving to unbutton them. Jotaro's got black pants, right? My words and the tugging down of his trousers caused a low growl to emit from Jotaro Cujoh's lip. Do y'all really be growling during I slowly take his shaft in one hand, giving it a slow tug, resulting in Cujoh's involuntarily jerking his hips forward. Holding it at the base, I teasingly lick a strip oh my god, I'm losing it, y'all. I can't read anymore. Placing my other hand on his thigh, I slowly take the tip into my mouth. Jotaro Cujoh. They put an I that they were for sure about to type Itadori. Jotaro Cujoh's hands finds my hair and guides me down the rest of his sighing as my lips touch my hand at the base, engulfing him. He was larger than I thought he would be, about average length, but the girth was impressive. I imagined it would absolutely tear me apart no matter how much he prepped me. Sorry. I begin to massage his sack, switching from his left ball to right. Sorry. I'm losing my fucking mind, y'all. Silence settles over us, and Cujoh's fingers ghost over my cheek, pulling a loose strand of hair over my ear as he smiles down at me. Cujoh? Don't pull this shit ever again. If you lie to me, I'll yare your limbs from your body. What? Okay, now there's like an epilogue, so this is from Kiyotaka's point of view, so let me read it. Kiyotaka had finished speaking on the phone to Gojo about Lisa. Gojo was unsurprisingly amused at the situation, and rather than removing her from the school, which would look suspicious, he suggested we just asked her to keep quiet. As he returned to where he left the pair, he noticed they were gone. As if his day could go from bad to worse, he lost the two students, one of which was Sukuna's vessel. But before he could be sent into a panicked frenzy, he heard noises from the alley just in front of him. Without thinking, he went to investigate. Oh, so this is where the accidental voyeurism is going to come into play. Okay. He wished he hadn't. Obviously, they were teenagers, they had a higher sex drive at a younger age, and they had just been reunited after a trauma, so there was bound to be some emotions. But in the street? Really? Yeah, really? Y'all just blowing people out in the street? I mean, hey, do your thing, but couldn't be me. As quickly as he had looked, he backed away, the image ingrained in his mind. Neither appeared to have noticed him. he decided to go wait in the car for them to finish up. From the way this story was going, I thought he was going to go back into the car to jerk it to the thought of his students boning, but I guess you gotta pay extra for that level of fanfic. Well, thanks Pro App Devel. That was certainly an exciting fanfiction. Who knew that my life would come to this point where I'd be sitting here reading about a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Jujutsu Kaisen crossover self-insert erotic fanfiction. I swear, man, the things I do for y'all. Well, those were some interesting fanfictions we read today, y'all. A lot of foreplay and a lot of oral for some reason, you know. Not so much of the bang bang schluck schluck and more of the suck suck schlup schlup. What? If you enjoyed this video, I don't know if many of you will. Consider like and subscribing and leaving a comment below who your favorite JoJo's Bizarre Adventure pairing is. And why did I make this video? Alright, that's bad. Peace, y'all.